Good morning, people. It's Friday. Today I'm going to record my Wim Hof routine, Monday to Friday. I've had lots of requests for that. And what that will look like is for 3 rounds of Wim Hof breathing, which I will do a voiceover so it's guided. And then I usually do about 20 minutes. I'll do a set of kundalini kriya. And today I'm going to do one of my favourites, which is the Magnificent 9. And I hope you enjoy that. It's very invigorating, it's heat building, and it's meant to be the elixir of youth. So let me know how that goes. And then we're going to get in the shower. So I usually spend 3 minutes every day in the shower. And I will just talk you through the process for me. And obviously, if you like my video, please like it. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel to see more, that would be amazing. Take care. Okay, you come to the mat and we're going to kick off this process with 3 rounds of Wim Hof breathing. It's a lot more informal than my usual guided videos because I breathe until I feel lightheaded and I'm getting symptoms of hyperoxygenation. So let's go. Breathing in and out. I'm getting photobanned by a cat. Breathing in and out. Huge belly breaths right down into the stomach. And then so the stomach, chest, head, let it go. Breathing in at 100% of your capacity. Let it go at 70% or passive out breath. So we force the in breath, but we do not force the out breath. It's just passive. So I will try and cue up the last few breaths that I take. And another thing I don't do in my practice is time how long I hold my breath for. I'm a yogi of some time. I've been doing it for quite a long time. And one thing I've learned to do is to not judge my practice from one day to the next. So I'm going to do 5 more. Let's take them together. Breathing in and out. In and out. In, last one, and out. Huge one, and let it all go. Let all of that breath out. I keep empty lungs for my breath hold. Because that in itself helps you overcome your autonomic nervous systems. You have like a trigger when your lungs are empty to breathe. And so when you challenge that by having empty lungs for like 1.5, 2 minutes, that's, you're really getting mastery over that system. You are becoming the master of your body. So I do prefer, I know some people keep a little bit of air in so they can blow off some carbon dioxide and hold the breath a little bit longer. But for me personally, it's not about timing. It's not about how many breaths I take in. It's not how long I hold my breath for. It's about practicing this daily. It's about feeling the sensations of hyperoxygenation. It's about feeling that urge to breathe, challenging it for a few seconds, and then taking the recovery breath. So I have to be honest, I don't know how long I held my breath for in any of this. I usually do this practice in bed. I will say that it's the one of the first things I do in the morning. So I wake up and I meditate, and I do Reiki on myself, and then I do the Wim Hof breathing while still in bed and in that relaxed state. Okay, I've taken an in-breath, and we're going to hold that in-breath for 15 seconds. And I force all the muscles from my perineum up into my head, forcing the root lock, the stomach lock, the throat lock shut, and cleansing my pineal gland. And release. Excellent. And we're going to round 2. Breathing in and out. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Belly, chest, head, let it go. As I've said before in many of my videos, I choose to breathe in from my mouth because I find I can get more air in, and so my retention time is longer and easier. Not that I get hung up on that, as I've also said. But for me, that suits me, and I'd never suffer from any levels of anxiety or even an hour after I don't feel any anxiety. I know that some people do. So if you do feel that and you feel that it could be the practice that's causing it, it may be if you're breathing through your mouth. So I would recommend, if you feel any anxiety or panic, you're triggering your fight or flight response to an extent where it's discombobulating you, and so I would breathe in through the nose, because that will prevent that from happening. Keep going. As I said before, I will do this process not so much on a count, but on how I feel. So when my hands start to go tingly, maybe a bit of muscle constriction, when my head starts to feel lightheaded. Sometimes I get beads of sweat on my forehead, but my skin feels cold. I'll really force it and push at the limits. Okay, so I think I'm coming to the point where I'm coming to this end of this round. So I'll give you a countdown of 5. So keep going, belly, chest, head, let it go. You don't have to breathe in at this pace. I also keep quite a fast pace to maintain and really intensify the sensations. 5 more. Belly, chest, head, let it go. In and out. Circular breaths, remember. There's no pause at the top or the bottom of the breath. Okay, this is our last one. Huge belly breath in and let it all go. Empty your lungs. And what I do to focus, you might notice as well I swallow a lot during this process. And I think that's because I breathe in from my mouth. It doesn't seem to happen when I do it through my nose. And to prevent myself from breathing in accidentally during the swallow, I put pressure at the back of my nose, and it actually creates quite a seal. Keep my tongue at the top of my mouth, just the tip away from the front of my teeth. And that seems to create a seal so no air leaks. So my process during this breath hold is that I focus on the lights behind my eyes. To me, that's the prana, the energy that's created during this process. I think the jury's out as to what it is, but for me, that's what that is. It creates a lot of energy and a lot of heat. So I focus on them, I watch those lights, and I feel into my body, into the sensations, and do a scan of my body. I do anything really just to focus on the fact that my body is saying, your lungs are empty, you need to breathe. I've been doing this practice for 2 years, on the 16th of January 2020. And it's something that I thought I'd never be able to do. As a few years ago, I had a very, very bad case of double pneumonia. And I was 36 weeks pregnant and in intensive care. It was a horrible situation, very, very poorly. And my lungs were quite damaged. So the fact that I can lie here and do this now. Take a big breath in, hold that breath in, force it up through the root lock. Keep pushing, push up into the head, push the breath into the brain, force it. Push, push, push. And release. I probably hold my in-breaths a little bit longer than I would usually when I'm doing the practice as well, when I do it on my own. Okay, let's start the process again. Belly, chest, head, let it go. And we're going to keep going until I'm feeling dizzy or lightheaded. I do this practice lying down in the morning. I know when we do the guided practice, I do it seated, and that's because I only take in 30 breaths and I limit the time I hold my breath. So I'm not really pushing it, I'm just building up energy for the yoga practice. I would say that doing this practice in the morning is very much about taking control of my physiology. And then when I repeat the practice before yoga, it's about building energy and heat in the body and preparing my body for exercise. So I get very different things out of it each time that, for whatever purpose I practice it. Yeah, so the other thing I've noticed over the last almost 2 years of daily practice is that after years of suffering from hay fever and seasonal asthma and some mild food intolerances, they were annoying enough to have to not eat certain foods like wheat. They've all gone. So I haven't had to use an asthma inhaler for next year will be my third summer. So it's for that alone it's truly remarkable, because I know the damage that inhalers can do. I was using 2 a day, one in the morning, one at night, and then one during the day, taking pills. And the other thing is I was always having to use paracetamol for headaches and things like that. I used to get really bad migraines, really bad, like quite debilitating, vomiting migraines, and I no longer get them, and I also no longer get mouth ulcers. 5 more together. Breathe in and out, in and out. Huge breaths, these last ones. In and out, in and out. This is our final breath. In and let it all out. And this is our final breath hold. So settle back. And if, like me, you like to focus on the effects that this is having on the body, just do so now. Lie back. Look behind your eyes. What can you see? Can you see lights, colours? Find your heartbeat. See if you can slow it down. We're taking control of our bodies. We're taking control of our physiology. We're taking control of our autonomic nervous system. Rebooting our immune system. And the third pillar of Wim Hof is about meditation and dedication and putting everything into this practice and setting the intention. And that's what I do a lot in these breath holds, is set the intention of what I want from it, which is to rid my body of cortisol and stress hormones. It's to reconfigure my immune system on a daily basis, and to give me peace and happiness and emotional quality of life, a stable emotional quality of life. And I can honestly say it does that. It does all of those things. When Wim says you'll be healthy, strong and happier, the emphasis on happier is huge for me. Huge. And it definitely does make you stronger. Okay, I hope you, I know it's been quite difficult to follow this guided process, but a few of you have requested that I go through my daily routine. Now in this final round, I'll start to clench all my muscles from my toes all the way up into my head, and just force it up into my head with the breath out. Just force it, and then take the recovery breath in and do the same again, forcing the muscles up into the head. You can see the veins in my forehead are popping at this stage. Force it all upwards. Push it all, really cleansing that pineal gland now, and then let it go. And let's just take some recovery breaths here together. Well, I hope you enjoyed my daily breathing practice. I know some days I can hold my breath for longer and some days shorter. And as I said in the beginning, it's not something I judge myself on. Otherwise, you start to get hung up on the process rather than the benefits. Okay, have a good stretch. And when you feel ready, if you're not feeling dizzy, come up to seated, and we will begin a short kundalini kriya. Kundalini is a form of yoga that I do every morning for about 20 to 25 minutes, and I find it works really well with the Wim Hof method. Okay, so back, take a few more breaths in. Let's just really integrate the practice. And then we will begin our kundalini kriya. The one I've chosen today is called the Magnificent 9. It's one of my favourites. I do tune in with a mantra, but we're going to go straight into the practice. There's lots of breath of fire through this, and I know lots of you like doing the breath of fire. I'll just show you what to do. It's pumping the belly like bellows, forcing the breath out of the nose like this. Passive in-breath, strong out-breath, literally pumping the belly. Like a panting dog is the sound, and the effort is like as though someone was pushing on your stomach, like bellows. Okay, bring the left leg into the chest and take it over to the right and look over the left arm. We're going to start the practice with a very beautiful passive twist. And this is number 1 in our Magnificent 9 kriya. This kriya is said to reinvigorate the body. It will generate heat and energy in the body, which is ideal before we take our cold shower. And it is supposed to be to give a more youthful body and appearance. So let me know how that works. Now you can either put your hand out straight out at T or take it to a goalpost. So it's up to you. Just go as comfortable, looking over that left shoulder, but keep the left shoulder on the floor, and then you're getting the full benefit of the twist from the top of your head to the base of your spine. Really opening up the lateral side and working into the psoas muscles. Okay, bring that leg back down. Have a stretch, and then we'll take it the other side. Bear in mind, this is something I do first thing in the morning. So it's not a case of being really active necessarily. Just listening to my body and letting it unfold carefully. So I don't really try and force anything at this time in the morning. So we're glancing over our right shoulder is pinned to the floor, and using our left hand to guide that knee over and just get a little bit more of a twist. These beautiful twists will not only shape your waist, work out the psoas muscles, but they're great for the smooth muscles in the internal organs. It works so well with the Wim Hof method because it's really conditioning the muscles as well around the rib cage and the diaphragm, which gets such a good workout with the breath work. Come to centre, bring that leg down long along the floor. And we're going to come to Magnificent number 2, which is the eye opener. This is a lovely one. It's a case of closing your eyes, putting the heels of your hands on the eyes with a little bit of pressure, not squeezing them. Yogis for many thousands of years of really emphasise the importance of cleanliness, and this is one way to open the eyes, cleanse the eyes. This eye opener practice. So now open your eyes so you're looking into your palms, into the darkness. This is meant to refresh and cleanse your eyes. And it's just one of a number of practices that yogis do every day, like tongue scraping, nasal cleaning, teeth brushing, to clear and cleaning our ears to really cleanse the body before practice. Okay, now lift the hands a few inches away from the face and stare into the palm of your hand. Really focus on the palms and notice any effects you're getting back in the eyes. And just gentle breathing in and out through the nose during this process. The rest of this class will be completely breathing through the nose and in the shower. Remember, nasal breathing is the healthiest breathing we can do. And now we're going to massage the face out with the heel of the hands. So just give everything a little bit of a rub all over where you feel any tension, or I find that my sinuses can get quite blocked. I've got very narrow nasal passages and a deviated septum, unfortunately. So I find that my sinuses will get blocked overnight. And so a little bit of tapping and on the forehead and around the sinus area, that will just relieve that tension. Keep going. Just really work into the bridge of the nose. Just a little bit of self-care. It's very easy to just sort of not bother with ourselves. Okay, now we're going to really get into it. Our favourite pose is coming up next. Number 3 in the Magnificent 9 is stretch pose. So get ready for that breath of fire. Lift the legs, lift the hands, lift the head off the mat, and breath of fire. Pumping the belly like bellows, breathing through the nose like this, like a panting dog, and use the abdominal muscles to lift you off the mat, staring at the toes for focus, and really just hold this. Keep pumping and keep lifting. This is not just a strength pose, but it's also willpower pose. It takes a lot of mind control to hold this pose. Okay, keep going, and in a second we're going to take a big breath in and hold that breath in and force the root lock up. Keep going. Ready? Big breath in, pull up on the root lock, stomach lock, throat lock, really force up and release. Well done. It's not easy, especially first thing in the morning. Roll onto your front now and come into cobra pose. So spread the hands, keep an even weight through the hands, and the hands underneath the shoulders, and keeping work in the shoulders. Do not sink into your shoulders. Take the head back if your head is comfortable, and begin breath of fire. This is a uncomfortable method of doing breath of fire. And what you need to make sure you don't do is, whilst you're doing this, is sink into those shoulders. Keep the shoulders away from the ears because we don't want to damage the joints. If your neck is comfortable and you're doing breath of fire like this, taking the head back, you are giving your thyroid and parathyroid gland the workout of workouts. Your metabolism is going to be fired up, and you are going to feel amazing. So if you can possibly do this with the head back, then do so. But it isn't easy. Remember, we're doing breath of fire in and out through the nose. Keeping that nice arch in the back. It's not easy. So just listen to your body and go to the level that you can. Right, big breath in, hold it, and release. Okay, just take your head to the mat. Few in-breaths. You can get a bit dizzy doing breath of fire, so just take a second to recover. And then we're going to come up onto all fours, and we're going to begin some cat-cow, which I'll just talk you through before we start. So we're going to arch the back and concave the back. So we're going to breathe in as we arch and take the head back. And that's our cow position. And then we're going to breathe out as we bring the head to the sternum, pushing up through the hands, and that's our cat position. So breathe in, out, in, out, in, out. And it is much more rapid, this cat-cow in kundalini, than in a regular practice. And what this does is it forces the kundalini energy from the base of the spine, where it lays dormant, into the upper chakras. So whether you believe that or not, I mean, from personal experience, I can tell you it's true. But what it will definitely do is energize you. So keep going. And we just don't work our spines like this in normal exercise. It's fantastic exercise for the spine and the abs, because you are using the whole of your core to do this. Make sure as well, when you're in the cow position, you push up through your hands as well. Again, we're not falling and collapsing into our joints. So breathing in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Keep going. In, out, in, out, in, out. Keep going. Okay, amazing. Hold the breath in and release. Okay. Right, come into staff pose. So the feet are, knees are together, feet are working, flexed back at the front of the mat. Sit up for your sitting bones, even weight into both of them. Nice straight back. If you can, take hold of your big toes. If you can't, hold on to the legs or the knees or the ankles. If you can, hold on to your big toes. You are awesome. And what I'd like to do is, as we hold on to our big toes, I'm going to take a big breath, fold forward, head's lasting to come down, working the body, the torso towards the thighs. But what I'd like to do is try and keep some weight to pinch the big toes and just give them a massage with your fingers. Because in Chinese medicine and reflexology, the pituitary gland and the pineal gland and some of those sort of main organs that are in the brain are represented by have pressure points in the big toe. So by giving that a really good massage and keeping some pressure on it, you can actually get rid of headaches and things like that, and relieve any pressure that you have behind the eyes. So it's really, really, really lovely practice to do. So just give those a little bit of a massage. Plus, you'll find that your big toes take quite a hammering, wearing shoes and socks and being in comfort. So by giving them a rub, you do what nature would do, which is just break down any crystals and lactate that gather in them. Okay, breathe in, come up straight, sitting straight. And release. Awesome, well done. Okay, just take some recovery breaths. And we're going to come sitting on our heels in rock pose. Now remember, in rock pose, we sit onto the heels. Hands come to the knees, and we're going to do breath of fire. Okay, so again, rapid in-breaths and out-breaths through the nose. So forcing the breath in and passively out like bellows. And the purpose of sitting on the heels like this is that we massage out the ganglia, the clump of nerve fibres that come down the spine, branch out, and they go into our legs. Like the sciatic nerve is one of them, for instance. And what you'll find by doing that massage process is you can ease off any pains you get. Okay, we're going to come and sit between the legs now in celibate pose. So sit either side of your heels, and you can either sit up straight, or you can come back onto your elbows, or you can, if you're feeling flexible, you can come onto your back and take your hands over your head. And we're going to do breath of fire. So breath of fire in celibate pose, either seated, on the elbows, or laid back. If you have strong pains in your knees here, then sit up to do it. And if you can't get back like this, you can sit on a cushion to take some of the pressure off the knees. It's a beautiful stretch into the quads, a lower back bend, and a shoulder opener. So if you can do it, that's great. And it's a great exercise for the lungs to do breath of fire at the same time. One of the reasons I love this Magnificent 9 is because there's so many chances to practice breath of fire, which really heats up the body internally before the shower. So you're getting that cold on the skin, but feel fire in your belly, and you can gradually feel the cold getting into the depths of you. It's quite a nice feeling. So see how you feel with that later when you get into your shower. Okay, come up to sitting, and this is our final Magnificent 9. So we're going to come into a shoulder stand. So we do get our inversion. And what I'd like you to do is very, very carefully, without moving your head, because remember, we're on our cervical spine here. So keep your head in line with your neck. Take the weight into your elbows, and the weight is onto the shoulders, and our hands are there for support. Stay up to the feet, and we're just going to do long in and out breaths through the nose, and just hold this pose. These inversions, this one in particular, shoulder stand, If you ever have jet lag, it's brilliant. It will rebalance your nervous system if you are feeling anxious. It will help you with insomnia if you do it before you go to bed. It's amazing for the digestion, for the cardiovascular system. It's absolutely brilliant. And the stretch you're getting in the cervical spine here is also beautifully beneficial, and it can stretch out and help you stretch out the vagus nerve and stimulate that, which is amazing, as that's called the wandering nerve, and it affects many of our motor and sensory nerves throughout the body. Okay, keep breathing slowly in and out through the nose. If you do ever have jet lag, this is a great pose. It will just reconfigure everything. Okay, we're going to bend the knees now, and vertebra by vertebrae will roll back down to the floor. Do not swing back down. Okay, just take some recovery breaths in and out through the nose, and then come to seated. I also would tune out here with a mantra, but I will leave that with you. I tune out with the mantra Sat Nam, and I vibrate that 3 times. Okay, namaste. Thank you for practicing this with me. Waheguru. Let's get into the shower. Right, so I have the next thing I do after my kundalini is actually go and make myself a coffee, a nice fresh coffee. It's my treat. I put the water on and let it cool down. Have it on as cold as it will go, but obviously the water is in the pipes in the house, so they warm slightly. So I just give it a few seconds, and while I'm doing that, I cue up a song, because for me, music raises my vibration, and I appreciate that not everyone likes that, and it won't be the same for everybody. And my song of choice in this shower today was Mardi Bum by Arctic Monkeys, which is one of my favourite songs ever. And it's 2 minutes 56 seconds long, and as soon as it started and the adverts finished, I climbed in, and so here we go. Now, the first thing I do when I get into the water is to get my face cold. So just like when you're going into an ice bath or an ice tub, if you get your head and face really cold, and what I do is I fill my hands with water and blow bubbles into it, so my brain thinks that it's actually in water, and that just stops me responding in a usual gasp way. And what I'm also doing here is telling my body, setting the intention not to make goosebumps. Because what I don't want is to have an autonomic response to the cold. So set the intention that your body will not respond by having goosebumps or goose flesh or shivering. You want to be in control, and then when you do that, you're actually controlling your metabolism. Now, the second thing I do is get my brainstem cold. I don't wash my hair every day, which is why my head's not going fully in. I do that once a week, so I'll have a warm shower once a week, wash my hair, and then I finish with a cold after that, and get my head under the cold. So I still feel the benefit. I get the cold right into the back of my neck, into the occipital ridge, and get it cold. And then I will just start to rotate my body and get all of it cold, including, and this is important for me at this time of year because I used to have a little bit of Raynaud's, getting my wrists really, really cold. And I have to tell you, my shower is intensely cold. It comes straight from the mains. It's been really icy weather here. But it's a case of controlling your breathing. I just do slow in and out breaths through the nose. Here I'm giving my legs a chance to get cold, because obviously they're the last thing for the water to hit, and the water is warmed a little bit by the body as it falls. So I would take basically make sure that every single part of my body will have been under the cold water, including to the armpits, where obviously we have more nerve endings and it's quite sensitive. And just concentrate and breathe in these areas where you're more likely to gasp. And just control that response. I have to say, I was quite proud of myself. I did fully concentrate, and I did not shiver once or get goosebumps once during this shower. And it is pretty bloody cold, to be honest. So, yeah, I just listen to the music, focus on the breath, and just make sure that everything is cold and everything is covered. If you have any, if you do things differently, just let me know. And there we go. That was my 3 minutes in the cold shower. It's just over, actually. And so then my window is open in my bathroom. I do not reach for a towel. I shake the hands dry, hit them on the sink there, and it really hurt. So I just get rid of the vasoconstriction by shaking out the hands. And then I'll do horse stance. Do you know what? I don't even do it for very long. I do it for longer when I come out of water, an ice bath. But in the shower, I don't really find it necessary because I am still in the house, even with the window open. It's, the ambient temperature isn't horrific. So I will do it just to keep the focus until the main sort of body of water has rolled off my body. So maybe a minute. It's a time factor thing for me because I have kids to get ready too. And so there you have it. I hope that you could follow along. If you couldn't, I hope that it was beneficial. If you maybe have picked up some of the tips. And if you have any for me, let me know. I'm always interested. I'm always happy to try new things. So let me know how you get on with that if you do similar. Mornings I'm always in a hurry because I do have to get the kids ready for school at that stage and then get on with it. So if you did want to do your horse stance, or you have a different process of getting warm naturally, then you do your own thing, and I will leave you with that. And I will see you on the next video. Take care, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.